Okay, for our next question. We would like to evaluate the integral of 10 to the power 5x multiplied by secant cubed x dx. And so of course we're going to need to simplify this too. We need to remember that tan squared x plus 1 is equal to secant squared x. Okay, so now we isolate for tan squared. It's equal to secant squared x minus 1. And then we're going to square both sides to get tan to the power 4x is equal to secant squared x minus 1 all to the power of 2. And then we're going to plug this in and just replace tan to the power 5x as tan to the power 4x by tan x. This is going to leave us with the integral of secant squared x minus 1 multiplied by tan x. Sorry, this is squared. Multiplied by secant cubed x dx, I believe. Yeah. And so we just need to note that this can also be simplified by taking it as secant squared x into secant squared x minus 1 squared, that multiplied by tan x by secant x dx. So we're just separating this cubed into a squared by to the power of 1. And then lastly, what we're going to do is we're going to use substitution. If we set u as secant x, that means du over dx is going to be secant x multiplied by tan x. So dx is equal to du over secant x multiplied by tan x. Let's put that all back into our equation. And we're going to get the integral of u squared into u squared minus 1 squared multiplied by tan x secant x. We're going to leave that alone, and then you put in dx, so du over tan x secant x. This will allow these two to cancel, so we're just finding the integral of u squared into u squared minus 1 squared over du. This is much easier as we can just use the exponent rule. So first let's expand that out, and it'll become the integral of u to the power 6 minus 2u to the power 4 plus u squared all over du. And then we're just going to use the exponent rule, and this will become u to the power of 7 over 7 minus 2 over 5 u to the power of 5 plus u over 3 to the power of 3. And of course there'll be a plus c that we can add later on. Let's go ahead and remember the fact that u is equal to secant x. We're just going to fill that in here. And we will get secant x to the power of 7 over 7 minus 2 secant x to the power of 5 over 5 plus secant x cubed over 3. And then we're going to have the plus c. If we'd like to simplify this further, we can take into account that secant x is equal to, sorry, let's ensure we have one denominator first here. And so that will become secant cubed x into 15 secant to the power of 4x minus 42 secant squared x plus 35. That is all over 105 plus c. You can leave the final answer like this, or you can take into account the fact that secant x is equal to 1 over cos x, so write this in terms of cos x instead. And that's going to be everything.